All right, rising ninth grade advisement. So normally your student would meet with me during their class. I'd pull them out by their home school. And we would pick classes. They'd bring some papers home and you guys would look over it, sign it, send it back, then I'd send it off. But as you can see by my little screen appearance at the top, we are still virtual. So I'm gonna go through this. It is a little long, but you start and stop as you need to and skip what you don't need. There are some changes. I know that some of you have had students that are older than your current student at date that have gone through high school, but there are changes to the way things are working. So please make sure that you take the time to look into that. All right, Georgia Futures. So these are the things we're going to cover. These are our objectives. Georgia Futures is going to discuss HOPE and the HOPE rigor course requirements. And we'll look at promotion versus graduation. We will look at diploma types, summer school options, dual enrollment, and the changes to that. And we'll look at elective course selections, okay? All right, Georgia Futures. So basically, Georgia Futures is any and everything that has to do with scholarship money provided by the state of Georgia and the Georgia Student Finance Commission if you meet the requirements. That's the HOPE Scholarship, Zell Miller, HOPE Grant, Zell Miller Grant, all that jazz, okay? That's all of that. So you must create a Georgia Futures account. That is an absolute must because that's how your high school counselor helps keep up with where you are, if you will, and whether or not you qualify for HOPE. It also allows you to see where you are and if you qualify. It allows you to send transcripts and apply for colleges. I know that we use College Board for our SAT and ACT. That still applies. So when you think Georgia Futures, think HOPE and money. When you think College Board, think SAT, ACT. So let me move me. There are some differences. The HOPE Scholarship, 3.0 HOPE GPA required, as calculated by the Georgia Student Finance Commission. Not as calculated by Mrs. Hay, but based on what the GSFC says. And that's based on your English, math, science, foreign language, and social sciences. In high school, they call social studies social science. And in college, they call it social science or political science. It changes. And you have to have the rigor requirements, which we'll talk about. Zell Miller Scholarship, you get a little bit more money, but there are a little more requirements. You have to have all the class rigor requirements, and you have to be a designated valedictorian or salutatorian. Designated by the school, not designated by Mrs. Hay feels like you're amazing and you deserve it, but designated as in the school says you earned it, okay? You have to have a 3.7 HOPE GPA. That's going to be extremely important to understand as well. And you have to have a 1200 SAT combined score in critical reading and math, or a 26 on the ACT, which is super possible as long as you start practicing now, which you can do for free on collegeboard.org. And when you take the PSAT, they'll make you set the account up for that. But you can actually do it now if you would like, and I encourage you to do it now. So in the HOPE Scholarship, if you get the money, that's how much you're going to get down here per semester for private, full-time, private half, okay? If you go public, you get the portion of what the regular tuition would be. So if your regular tuition is, $6,000, then you'll get enough to cover the general. Sometimes though, it's left over. You still have stuff to pay. So always consider multiple options of scholarships. Zell Miller, you get a little bit more money. If you get the Zell Miller scholarship, they pay the full standard tuition. So that is something to consider, okay? Now, what are rigor requirements? Let me tell you. Advanced math, advanced science, foreign language, advanced placement or AP, and core subjects. Core subject AP. And the IB or International Baccalaureate in core subjects. Degree level dual enrollment courses and students graduating from high school, you have to earn 4 full credits from this list. In order for you to qualify for HOPE, you have to take 4 of these types of classes in this little box, okay? So just be mindful. HOPE rigor. There's a whole list of courses that you can take. It's 10 pages long. I do encourage you to open this up and look at it when you have time. You have to have 4 credits, though, to qualify for HOPE from that list. All right, promotion versus graduation. We have this conversation often. The reason that there is a difference is because in order for you to promote, you have to have met certain requirements. And then once you've met all the requirements and there's no place else for you to go, you graduate. So, for example, you will promote from 8th grade to 9th grade because you've met all the middle school requirements. So we're going to move you on over to high school. So now you're in 9th grade, right? You got to have 6 credits. 3 core, 3 elective. Let's say you get all 6 of those between next August and next May. That means that August of 2023, you're on your way to 10th grade. And so on and so forth, because you can see it in this chart. Now, let's say that you don't get 6. Maybe some things happened. Maybe this was not a good transition for you. Whatever it was that was going on, that's okay, right? Because things happen. But if you don't have the 6 right down in here, then you're in 9th grade again. And that just means that until you get the courses taken and passed that you're supposed to take and pass in 9th grade, they will consider you a 9th grade student. And ultimately what winds up happening is you can't take the second part of something before you take the first part, right? You can't bake a cake if you don't mix the ingredients. So when you get to 9th grade, make sure you mix them up good. And if you get into trouble, if you start to see that maybe things are overwhelming, reach out to your high school counselor. He or she, they are there to help you. Tell your parent, hey, this is a lot on me. Tell them it's okay. And, write things down, get an agenda. You guys can do this, but you got to have 6. And this is a requirement of the county. So just make sure that you stay focused. Now, let me see if I can move me out the way. There I go. So this is basically the graphic that they felt was the best way to illustrate what's required for you to graduate. Ultimately, you have to have 24 credits, right? So let's see if I can smush this. There we go. All right. So you have to have 24 credits. There's our little 24 down here. That's 4 English, 4 math, 4 science, 4 social studies or social sciences, a half of health, 1.5 PE, and then 6 electives, depending on your diploma type, will determine the category you got to have them in. So for 9th grade, you're going to take 9th grade lit. You will take GSE, coordinate algebra, or accelerated coordinate algebra, analytic, geometry A. If you are one of these, 12 students that I have taking GAVS, the advanced math class currently, if you take it and pass it successfully, then you will be taking 10th grade math in 9th grade. For science, you'll take biology. And for social studies, social sciences, you'll take American government first semester, and you'll take world geography second semester. And then, of course, your health and your PE. And then based on your diploma type will determine what and how many electives you need to take. So let's talk about diploma types while we're over here. College prep is if you know you want to go to a 4-year college. So let's say I want to go to West Georgia, which, by the way, fantastic school. That's where Mrs. Hay went. And we all know I'm fantastic. So, there's that. Or you go wherever you want to go. I do encourage you to look at the list of schools and travel and see them and view them and go where it's best for you. So whatever that is for you is what you need to do. But I do encourage you to also look at West Georgia. It's affordable. So college prep, you got to have 2 units, which is basically just 2 years, 2 classes, right, of the same foreign language. In order to get accepted into a 4-year college, you have to have 2 years of the same foreign language. You got to have 3 years of career tech in the same pathway. We'll talk about pathways later. There's really 17. So there's a lot of options for that. Or you got to have 3 units of humanities, which is going to be like creative writing, humanities, because that's an actual class, things like that. And you have to have one extra elective, which could be keyboarding, which honestly, I do think is something you should take. Because, I mean, look at all the typing we're doing. And if you're still sitting there, single clicking, that could be something that can help you out. Technical. Let's say that you want to be a dental hygienist, or you want to be a mechanic, or you want to be a welder, which, by the way, is a 10-month program that you can complete in Duluth in Georgia and be on your way and working in 10 months. And it pays very well, and they help you get a job. But if you need more information on that, you let me know. But you could do career tech. That's 1 year of world language, 3 career tech classes in the same pathway, and 2 general electives, right? So keyboarding and baking, I don't know, whatever they have, right? If you don't want to go to a 4-year college because you want to go to a technical college, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Whatever you choose to do, just choose to do something. But don't pick college prep if you want to go to a technical school. Click the technical one, right? If you want to go to a 4-year college, pick college prep. And then college prep with honors and distinction. 3 years of foreign language and 3 general electives. That means you need to start with your foreign language no later than 10th grade. And it's got to be the same one all the way through. Okay? High school counselors, y'all, courses taken in middle school. There's only 12 of you that did this, so I will make this brief. Your GAVS class, when you complete it, pass the ELC, and your grade is calculated, email me and I'll send you your transcript. You take that transcript to your high school, they will update your schedule. Okay? But you got to take the ELC and you have to pass it, and you have to have a passing grade in that course. If you don't request your transcript to go over to your high school for me to send it to you to take, then they won't get it and they'll never know you took that class. And they'll make you retake the class. So make sure that you follow up with that. Summer school. I know we have questions about summer school. So here's what summer school means to 9th grade. You do Georgia Virtual Schools or you do Flex Academy. You can only take health or PE. That's all they're going to let you take. They will not let you take anything else. If you're doing it through Georgia Virtual Schools and Flex Academy, they won't. But, I have to register you for this. I want you to notice that as of July 1st, you no longer are my person. You go on and become a 9th grade student, and all I can see in Infinite Campus of you is that you used to go here. So if you're going to be doing high school health and PE over the summer, you have to request that and turn in the proper documentation for that way before we even get to like the middle of June. And I will send something out and let you know, because I'm not here all the time. So I don't want you to send something and I'm not here or I don't see it because we're on vacation too, right? And then next thing you know, it's July 1st. Now, if you send something on June 30th, I can go ahead and tell you there's a big chance you will not be taking summer school because we want to make sure we respect everyone's time. Just as you send me a request and I get it done, make sure you send it in a timely fashion. This will be calculated towards your GPA. So if you take a summer school class, that does impact your GPA. There's no hiding it. Once you take it with these people up here, they know. But it does not affect your HOPE calculation. But you do need to pass it because if you don't pass health and PE, you do have to retake them because you won't have the requirements to graduate. You move me. Dual enrollment. So back in the day, dual enrollment was, you could take high school and college courses at the same time. The requirements weren't really that harsh, right? Now, as a 9th grade student, you cannot take them at all. That's just where we are. That was what was decided by the governor. So here we are. 10th grade, you can do CTAE courses only, right? But they have to be on the participating TCSG, which is the Technical College Schools of Georgia or something like that. I'll pull it up later so we can see it. But it's a long list. It's not like it's only 2 or 3 courses. It's a nice amount of courses that you can take. Students may take an approved dual enrollment course listed on the course directory at an eligible participating post-secondary institution, USG, TCSG, or private, but you have to have an SAT score of 1200. or an ACT score of 26 in 10th grade. If you don't have those, then you cannot do dual enrollment. And then 11th to 12th grade, you're free to do what you need to do. All right. The most important thing that we are here for today is putting your courses in Infinite Campus, because you guys get to do this with your parents, which is pretty cool, because you can have the conversation of what you want to do. And if you don't know what you want to do, that's also okay, because they're there to help you figure that out, right? Right. Oh, laptop, desktop, not on the phone. This will not work on the phone. You have to do this on the laptop or the desktop, okay? And it has to be done in the student account. It won't work in the parent account because your parent is not enrolled to take classes anywhere. All right. Do you need an Infinite Campus portal account? Maybe you do. If you do, go into this presentation, click this. It'll open up a window. Fill this out with your parent. You'll be good to go. Now, you should have one. Your password is decab08 lowercase. Your username is your S number, the student number with the S in front of it. So try that first before you go over here and do this. We all log in on the same page now, but student and staff, we log in up here. So students will click up here to log in. Parents log in down here. So if you're typing your information in down here as a student and you've been emailing me saying it doesn't work, I know it doesn't work because now they put it up here. I know it still says student username. I understand that. It's quite confusing, but you go up here, okay? So once we get in this thing, we're going to go to academic plan. It's over on the left-hand side in the student one. If you log in and it doesn't look like this, that means you've logged in as your parent. You got to log out and go back to where we were, click student and staff single sign in, and then come click academic plan. Once you've done that, put me down here, you can see you've got an academic plan. This is based on your homeschool. Your homeschool is based on the address in Infinite Campus at the time that the people over at the county did all of this. So if you have not updated your address, send a utility bill to Mrs. Armstrong to her Date Academy email address. Your parent should send it, not the student. That needs to come from a parent email address, and she'll get you updated. So all students automatically have college prep with humanities. If you want to do the technical, drop down, click career tech. If you want to do honors with distinction, drop down, click honors with distinction. If you want to do a CTAE focus, drop down and click CTAE focus. The difference between this one and this one is the CTAE focus versus the humanities focus. But a technical diploma is only this right here. Notice it says college prep, okay? Pick wisely. You may pick block, and they may put you back at AB because some schools are on an AB schedule and some are on a block schedule. So if you try to change it and it won't let you, that means it's not at your school. All right. So academic plan. All of these courses have been pre-selected. That's why you see the little lock on them. If it's got a lock on it, it can't be changed. So they went on ahead and picked your core classes and your health and PE classes for you. Now, as a parent, as you're doing this with your student, you guys have the task of approving what you selected. It is imperative that you approve what you selected, because if you don't, they're just going to put you in something that you didn't select. So please, 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 please make sure that you look at it. If you see that your child has picked PE for the next, they got all these PEs, they can't have all that PE. 1.5, that's all they get. If they got 4.25, you don't approve it. Change it. If you see that your child has picked Latin, and you know they're not interested in Latin, maybe they have it confused with Spanish, change it. Just change it. That's all. But then click this. You're going to select elective courses, which is specials, but they call it electives, foreign language, and an alternate course, okay? So let's say that you pick Latin or Spanish or whatever is offered at your school, your homeschool. Pick those. Then you're going to pick your other classes. Other is the other electives, right? That's your business intro, technology type stuff. Then you're going to pick alternates. Alternates is what you will get if this is full. Then you're going to save it. If you don't save this bad boy, then it's like it never happened. And you got to go back in and do it again. So please make sure you hit save. Resources, core course offerings, and sequencing. All right, 9th grade, you take Lit 9. Math is a little different. So I can cover this up because nobody's in 12th grade. If you feel as though you need a different type of math class, perhaps you know that math is not your strong point and you're uncomfortable, you can do foundations of algebra and it will count at just as these others will. And if you need to change it and it won't let you, you just reach out to your counselor and let them know that you'd like to change it. This is a little more in depth. So one thing to make note of, if you wind up in an accelerated class, you have to stay there because once you accelerate, you cannot stop. So just be mindful. That means you're taking your first semester and second semester class all during first semester. It's essential to what goes on at DECA, if you will, where they accelerate you through. So you take all of 1 year, the first semester and second semester, and first semester. So then second semester, you're taking the 10th grade math, if you will. This is a 4th year math option, and we are not 4th year math students, so we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. But just keep in mind that this is something that's available to you as you move forward. If you were on the accelerated math course, then you would wind up taking these. Science, you'll do biology. You cannot do dual enrollment in 9th grade, so just disregard. 9th grade, you can do American government and world geography. You take one first semester, the next one second semester. There are AP classes for this. And then you guys are on pathway 3 as far as foreign language is concerned, unless you took it at a different school and got credit for it as a Carnegie credit. Otherwise, you guys are going to be doing French 1, Spanish 1, German 1, or Latin 1. So in 9th grade, you're starting fresh. CTAE elective course offerings. There's a lot going on with CTAE, okay? There are 17 clusters and pathways total. Within all of these clusters are different types of classes. So you have your cluster, which has your pathway, which goes with your program of study, which is found on your IGP, your individualized graduation plan. And put myself all the way over here. So agriculture, food, and natural resources. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger. There we go. I encourage you to go back and look over these because it is kind of in depth on what they cover and what the course offerings are. So I'm just going to move through them. Architecture and construction. Arts, AV, technology, and communication. Business management and administration. Let me go back to that one. I went kind of fast. Education and training. Energy. Finance. Government and public administration. A little note about junior ROTC. The one that you can participate is based on what's offered at your school. So if you're trying to do the Navy and they don't have the Navy at your school, then you got to do a different one or go to a different school to participate in that activity. Health science, hospitality and tourism, transportation, distribution and logistics, law, public safety, corrections and security, human services, information technology, manufacturing, marketing, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And then a place for you to plan out all of what you have going on in your 4-year span of high school. You can use this or you can make your own. You do not have to use this. There's no, I mean, it's up to you, okay? I suggest that you make a plan though, so you know what is required of you in your 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. And then these are the links for the resources that the county has provided for you. If you have any questions at all, use this form. It's going to open up. Here it is. Complete it. Send it back to me, and I will get back to you via email with my response to your question. And sometimes when you ask a question, I have to go find the answer. So just be mindful. It may take a second based on the amount that come in, but I will get you an answer. With that being said, all of this needs to be completed by February 7th. If you don't do it by February 7th, they're going to lock you out and there's not going to be anything I can do about it. So please make sure that you do your advisement by February 7th. And if you have any other questions, fill out the form and I will get back to you.